This is Late Night. We hope you're doing well. And now, if you don't mind, we're going to get to the news. President Trump attended the FIFA World Cup final yesterday at MetLife Stadium. You couldn't even stay awake at a Knicks finals game? And you went to watch a sport you don't understand? Where nobody scored for 106 minutes? Did you also bring NyQuil and a white noise machine? I think he just went out on the field afterwards to find out who won. At the medal ceremony of the FIFA World Cup yesterday, President Trump was booed by the crowd. To be fair, they might have been yelling, "Move!" He thinks he won. Look at him. He's like the guy in high school who didn't help with the group project, but still gets to put his name on it. The solar system. We love the solar system. A lot of planets. A video has gained attention online that appears to show FIFA President Gianni Infantino attempting to move President Trump away from the Spanish national team so they could lift the World Cup trophy without him. In Trump's defense, that thing's solid gold. That's like trying to move Gollum away from the ring. We need the precious. Not now, Gollum. You didn't win. No. President Trump posted a video montage on Truth Social last week that described his journey as, quote, like some sort of mythical story. Oh, let me guess, like the Odyssey? Not everything is about you, man. Okay, sure, you were tempted by a siren, and sometimes you dress like an elderly beggar, but that's about it. I mean, for one thing, Odysseus' wife liked him. When asked during a briefing last week about the administration's response to several outbreaks of an intestinal illness caused by the parasite Cyclospora, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that the White House is, quote, closely monitoring the situation. But just to be safe, Trump has been avoiding leafy greens for the past 80 years. Manosphere influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate were arrested on Saturday in Miami, apparently for shoplifting from Ann Taylor Loft? Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed a bill into law last week that allows assisted living facilities and nursing homes to serve alcohol to residents. That way, they can just tell you your kids visited. Oh, that's nice. I don't remember, but that's nice. According to a new survey, more than half of adults have admitted to eating an entire bag of chips in one sitting, and the other half said, actually, it was a tube. Finally, the New York Times published an article over the weekend about the resurgence of so-called grandma hobbies like quilting, needlepoint, and spoiling the Wordle at 8 a.m. That was a monologue, everybody! Got a great show for you tonight. He's a fantastic comedian, actor. You know him from SNL. He's currently starring in the new movie 72 Hours, streaming July 24th on Netflix. Our friend Marcelo Hernandez is here. She's an author and actress. You know her from Friday Night Lights, Euphoria, and Titans. She stars in Ransom Canyon, whose second season premieres Thursday, July 23rd on Netflix. Minka Kelly is joining us on the show. Very excited about that. But before we get to our guests, the war in Iran is spiraling into a wider conflict despite Trump repeatedly claiming it would end soon. The president's primetime address on elections was a flop, but hey, at least he was greeted with raucous cheers at the World Cup. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Donald Trump isn't exactly the most beloved world leader among his peers. At the G7 summit last month, he just kind of stood there while everyone around him chatted. Looks like he showed up to a swingers party without a +1. He's a -1. Also, dude, if you have nothing to do and no one to talk to, go hide in the background. Don't stand right out in front like you're the official mascot for the male loneliness epidemic. You need to loosen up. I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe you should start drinking alcohol. Feeling shy? Have a White Claw. Now, it's no wonder Trump's not surrounded by people desperate to make small talk with him. After all, he's been in feuds with any number of world leaders, from Italy to Germany to Denmark to Canada. But lately, he's had an especially tense relationship with Spain. He's mad at them because they won't support his pointless war with Iran.
Spain is a wasted cause. We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore, by the way. I'd like you to cut it off. Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. I don't want anything to do with Spain. Cut off all trade with Spain, please, including visits. We don't have to trade with them. I don't want to do any more trade with them. All right?
Yes, sir.
Take it immediately. Don't even talk to them. They're hopeless. Bad people.
It's so shocking that someone who talks like that ends up standing like this. Point is, Trump was very mad at Spain. In fact, his administration said they were preparing a menu of Spanish products that may be embargoed in the coming days. And yes, before you ask, the menu of Spanish products are not full size, but rather they're like smaller share plates. I'd love to hear Trump name a single product that we import from Spain. Starting today, we will no longer be importing Spanish chorizo, which, as everyone knows, is the meat from a Charizard. Point is, you heard the man, Spain is a hopeless country full of bad people, and we will no longer talk to them, do business with them, or trade with them, and he for damn sure isn't going to be caught dead with them on stage celebrating
Spain have won the World Cup.
I mean, if you're surprised he's up there, you forgot the first rule of Trump. Everything goes out the window if gold is around. They probably had him prepped and everything. Now, just remember, Mr. President, you don't like Spain. Don't like him at all. They're hopeless. They're bad people. Hopeless, bad. Got that. Hold up. Is that gold? Less than a month ago, he said no more visits from Spain, and now Spain is in America holding the world's most coveted trophy while Trump stands next to them like Forrest Gump during the history montage. You're not on the team, dude. We did it, guys, all of us together. Remember when I made that beautiful pass to Torres for the winning goal? Want to hear something crazy? When I was a baby, Messi gave me a bath. Now, as you might have guessed, Trump was not supposed to be standing there. In fact, the head of FIFA ran over and tried to get him off the stage before the celebration. The head of the most corrupt organization on earth was like, this is a bad look. But Trump insisted on standing there either because he wanted the attention or he forgot where he was because he's 80 and his brain is smoother than a soccer ball. Now, you might be saying, surely a team of World Cup winning Spanish footballers were equally excited to share the stage with the winner of the FIFA Peace Prize, but it seems as though that wasn't the case. In fact, Rodri, the captain of the Spanish team, tried to usher Trump off the stage so they could start celebrating. Okay, Grandpa, time for bed. Milk's on the nightstand, although my other favorite moment came when Spanish forward Victor Munoz started celebrating, then had to stop when Trump wandered in front of him. It's like being at a house party in high school, getting ready to cheer a buddy on for a keg stand, and then your weirdest neighbor walks into the house. Everybody act cool, cut the music. Old man Trump's here. Hey, you guys about to drink beer upside down? That's cool. I'd love to take a crack at it. Is there a sign-up sheet, or do we just get in line? What's the protocol, fella? You guys let me think it over, let me know. I'll go stand in the corner looking equal parts mad and sad. In fact, this spectacle was so awkward and embarrassing that an Australian broadcaster was caught on a hot mic commenting on the fact that Trump was ruining the moment.
The champions of the world are Spain!
Is now, so they can edit him out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's right. I think they're gonna edit him out or just replace him with something less unsettling, like, I don't know, the Babadook. There's lots of stuff I wish we could edit him out of. You know, remember that famous pic of Trump yelling at the kid with the lawnmower? I mean, how much nicer would it be if Trump wasn't in that picture? See? Now it's just a sweet pic of a kid helping out by doing the chores. All right, now let's put Trump back in, but also the Babadook. See? No idea what's going on here, but deaf curious. Maybe Trump is punishing the kid by making him mow the lawn, not knowing the Babadook is the kid's best friend. Whatever. Fun to think about. Point is, it doesn't seem like many people wanted Trump at this event. For example, he walked onto the field for the trophy presentation after the game, and he didn't get the best reception. At this point, I'm guessing Trump's staff tries to make him feel better by telling him he's just being followed around by ghosts. Mr. President, remember, no one's booing you. That's just Mitch McConnell saying hello. And you guys, I'm just kidding. Mitch McConnell is definitely alive. They always make you stay in the hospital an extra week after you put your jeans on. It's just protocol. It sucks that he had to show up and put his stink on another event that was otherwise bringing New Yorkers together. They're going to have to sage MetLife Stadium to get the hex out. Otherwise, the Jets might have a bad season. He's such a bad curse, he goes into the past. So the president got booed in public again, but hey, at least this means we can add it to our rolling montage of Trump getting booed at sporting events.
Donald Trump ventured out from his Bedminster Golf Club just to get booed at today's FIFA Club World Cup final in New Jersey.
The president decided he wanted to attend Sunday's men's singles final. The president of the United States was booed.
Football fans could be heard booing President Trump during his appearance at the Lions and Commanders game. He was there to swear in new military members.
I am saying your name.
The crowd loudly booed when Trump was shown on the Jumbotron at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Trump and Infantino were booed as they arrived to hand over the trophy.
If that montage gets any longer, we're going to have to release it on DVD. And it must be especially hard for Trump to get booed at all these sporting events because, by his own account, he loves sports.
I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well. Really well.
Yeah, well, that's obvious based on the specific sports terms you just used. Like really and well. But that's not fair. That was a short answer. I'm sure Trump's post-game analysis of the World Cup final was trenchant and insightful, and I'm sure he didn't only use words like really and well.
I think they both played well. I would say Spain played better, really. But they both played well.
All right, well, that's excellent. Analysis A+. I'd love to see Trump co-host Inside the NBA one day, just for Charles Barkley's reactions.
I would say Spain played better, really. But they both played well.
Now you just sit at home in your grandma's basement with your drawers on, typing on your damn keyboard. Shut the hell up.
But as bad as Trump's post-game analysis was, his pre-game predictions also missed the mark.
Argentina, Spain.
Yeah.
Give me a prediction.
Well, I knew you were going to ask, so I thought about it I thought about it a lot. I knew that was a question. I hate to get involved, even though politically it doesn't matter so much. The head of Argentina is a friend of mine. He's done a terrific job. But I would say that it's hard to bet against Messi. I just think it's very hard to bet against Messi. He's great.
Trump's sports curse strikes again. He goes to the NBA Finals. The Knicks lose. He intervenes to get a red card overturned. USA loses. He says he can't bet against Messi. Argentina lose. He owned a USFL team and the whole league folded. He's a sports reaper. We've shown this picture before, but here's the moment the Mets lost the 2006 National League Championship. Zoom in and look who's there. You're telling me that's not a sports reaper. You're telling me that's not a photo of someone satisfied with what they've wrought. Terrifying. Trump claims to understand sports, and yet there's one fundamental sports concept he seems incapable of grasping, even though he's really good at it, and that's losing. For example, he keeps claiming that the U.S. has already won the war with Iran, even though, and I don't know if you've heard this, the war is still happening.
Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily. We control the Strait. They don't control anything.
That's right. We control the Strait of Hormuz now. We also control Greenland, Canada, Xanadu, and Rainbow Road from Mario Kart. That's why I went to the Sunoco station this morning and filled up my car with $2 gas. They're practically giving it away. That's why everyone cheered for Trump at the World Cup. They weren't saying boo, they were saying fuel! Obviously, the opposite is happening. The Iran war only seems spiraling further out of control. Republicans who get all their information from President Trump are now struggling to figure out what's going on.
I don't understand how it's possible that Iran has the capabilities to fight this way and continue to try to lash out at Gulf countries and U.S. military bases, because The U.S. has obliterated Iran's military, and the president continues to reiterate that.
Oh, man, I would just give yourself a minute to break that down on your own and see what you come up with. How can they fight this way when the president told us they can't fight this way? Anything? You think maybe he's lying to you? Maybe he can't be trusted because he said the war is over 38 times, and yet also said last week, we'll have Iran defeated very soon, which is a weird thing to say about a country you claim has already been defeated. When I heard that, I thought...
Now, you just sit at home in your grandma's basement with your drawers on, typing on your damn keyboard. Shut the hell up.
And of course, while he lies about the war in Iran, Trump is also still lying about his loss in 2020 with a primetime address full of lies that flopped pretty hard.
President Trump made exaggerated claims about election vulnerabilities in his primetime address. The roughly 25-minute speech, coming just under 4 months until the midterm elections, focused on conspiracy theories that Trump's own intelligence agencies have repeatedly examined and rejected.
Much of what the president has said on this topic has been false. Most notably, of course, the claim that he won the 2020 election when, of course, he did not.
One way of looking at last night was this is the best they can do, essentially. This was their best effort to prove that case. Of course, they didn't.
John, as someone who covered the White House, have you ever seen a primetime address or heard a primetime address like this one?
No.
That's how bad this speech was. Veteran reporters who've covered the White House for years are reacting to it like they just saw the president streak naked across the field at the Super Bowl. Yeah, that one was rough. Sorry about that, guys. You know what? For the repeat, we'll put the Babadook in there. I don't know what we're thinking. And also, you'd be like, if you actually saw them in real life, you'd be like, oh, he's running. It'll be over soon. It wouldn't be over soon. Yeah, no. There's no way out of it. We can't do anything now, yeah. Trump said he would end wars, fix inflation. Instead, he's lying about elections, getting booed at the World Cup, but who knows what will happen. One day, I have a feeling the people who put Trump in this position are going to pretend they were always against it. In other words...
I can edit him out of that.
This has been A Closer Look.